Welcome to the presentation on Good Clinical Practice, Part 4, Investigators' Responsibilities. Informed consent of trial subjects. While obtaining and documenting informed consent, the investigator should comply with the applicable regulatory requirements, should adhere to GCP and to the ethical principles that have their origin in the Declaration of Helsinki. Informed consent of trial subjects. The written informed consent form and any other written information to be provided to subjects should be revised whenever important new information becomes available that may be relevant to the subject's consent. Any revised written informed consent form and written information should receive the IRB or IEC's approval or favorable opinion in advance of use. The subject or the subject's legally acceptable representative should be informed in a timely manner if new information becomes available that may be relevant to the subject's willingness to continue participation in the trial. The communication of this information should be documented. Neither the investigator nor the trial staff should coerce or unduly influence a subject to participate or to continue to participate in a trial. None of the oral and written information concerning the trial, including the written informed consent form, should contain any language that causes the subject or subject's legally acceptable representative to waive or to appear to waive any legal rights, or that releases or appears to release the investigator, the institution, the sponsor, or their agents from liability for negligence. The language used in the oral and written information about the trial, including the written informed consent form, should be as non-technical as possible, should be understandable to the subject or the subject's legally acceptable representative and the impartial witness where applicable. Before informed consent may be obtained, the investigator or a person designated by the investigator should provide ample time and opportunity to inquire about details of the trial and to decide whether or not to participate in the trial. All questions about the trial should be answered to the satisfaction of the subject or the subject's legally acceptable representative. Prior to a subject's participation in the trial, the written informed consent form should be signed and personally dated by the subject or by the subject's legally acceptable representative and by the person who conducted the informed consent discussion. If a subject is unable to read, or if a legally acceptable representative is unable to read, an impartial witness should be present during the entire informed consent discussion. The witness should sign and personally date the informed consent form. By signing the consent form, the witness attests that the information in the informed consent form and any other written information was accurately explained to and apparently understood by the subject or subject's legally acceptable representative, and that informed consent was freely given by the subject or the subject's legally acceptable representative. Contents of informed consent. Both the informed consent discussion and the written informed consent form and any other written information to be provided to subjects should include explanations of the following: that the trial involves research, the purpose of the trial treatments and the probability for random assignment to each treatment, the trial procedure to be followed, including all invasive procedures. Informed consent should also include the subject's responsibilities, those aspects of the trial that are experimental, the reasonably foreseeable risks or inconveniences to the subjects and, when applicable, to an embryo, fetus or nursing infant, the reasonably expected benefits. When there is no intended clinical benefit to the subject should be made aware of this. Consent form should also include the alternative procedures or courses of treatment that may be available to the subject and their important potential benefits and risks. The compensation and or treatment available to the subject in the event of trial-related injury. The anticipated prorated payment, if any, to the subject for participating in the trial. The anticipated expenses, if any, to the subject for participating in the trial. Consent form should also include that the subject's participation in the trial is voluntary and that the subject may refuse to participate or withdraw from the trial at any time without penalty or loss of benefits to which the subject is otherwise entitled. That the monitors, the auditor or the IRB, IEC and the regulatory agencies will be granted direct access to the subject's original medical records for verification of clinical trial procedures and or data without violating the confidentiality of the subject to the extent permitted by the applicable laws and regulations, and that by signing a written informed consent form, the subject or the subject's legally acceptable representative is authorizing such access. Consent form should also include that records identifying the subject will be kept confidential and to the extent permitted by the applicable laws and or regulations will not be made publicly available. If the results of the trial are published, the subject's identity will be kept confidential. That the subject or the subject's legally acceptable representative will be informed in a timely manner if information becomes available that may be relevant to the subject's willingness to continue participation in the trial. Consent form should also include the person to contact for further information regarding the trial and the rights of trial subjects and whom to contact in the event of trial-related injury. The foreseeable circumstances and or reasons under which the subject's participation in the trial may be terminated. The expected duration of the trial subject's participation in the trial. The approximate number of subjects involved in the trial. Prior to participation in the trial, the subject or the subject's legally acceptable representative should receive a copy of the signed and dated written informed consent form and any other written information provided to the subjects. During the subject's participation in the trial, the subject or the subject's legally acceptable representative should receive a copy of the signed and dated consent form updates and a copy of any amendments to the written information provided to subjects. Non-therapeutic trial, that is, a trial in which there is no anticipated direct clinical benefit to the subject. Such trial should be conducted in subjects who personally give consent and who sign and date the written informed consent form. In emergency situations, when prior consent of the subject is not possible, the consent of the subject's legally acceptable representative, if present, should be requested. When prior consent of the subject is not possible and the subject's legally acceptable representative is not available, enrollment of the subject should require measures described in the protocol and or elsewhere with documented approval or favorable opinion of the IRB or IEC to protect the rights, safety and well-being of the subject and to ensure compliance with the applicable regulatory requirements. The subject or the subject's legally acceptable representative should be informed about the trial as soon as possible, and consent to continue and other consent as appropriate should be requested.